Here's a good story about me and Dave Caston that hasn't been covered anywhere.
Okay, this just to fill you in. Dave Caston, former co-host of Comical Radio.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's hear it.
So Dave and I, after high school, we wanted to start a business together. And the first business we came up with, I was living on the Upper East Side here in Manhattan, and I discovered this kind of hypoallergenic hairless cat called the Cornish Rex.
Okay, I like this story so far.
Yeah. And Dave and I said, Dave, this could be... I had this brilliant idea that if we bred these cats on the Upper East Side, I said, all these buildings don't allow dogs, but there's a lot of people that want pets, and maybe they're allergic to cats. That's like a common allergy. But if we could sell cats that people wouldn't be allergic to, with all these apartment buildings full of rich people, we could probably make a killing.
So you discovered this cat...
Yeah,
and you thought that people didn't already have this angle to market them? Are they hypo? They're
hypoallergenic,
okay.
But I just figured if we were more aggressive in selling them and getting these cats out there, you know.
Right.
And it was $2,000 for the cat in a pet shop called Pets on Lex, which is still there on Lexington in, I think, 80-something, 80 or 90. It's there. Google it. So we went and we split it, $1,000 each. We bought the male Cornish Rex, and and we were ready to buy the female too. And the guy said at the pet shop, he goes, "Females haven't come in yet. Give it a
on
week
back
or two."
order.
Exactly. They're
They
cataloged.
were supposed to come in Tuesday. The guy fucked me over. I don't know what happened. Okay, so they're going to come in how long?
So a week or two, he says, and they'll be here.
So you just chill with a male hypoallergenic cat for a couple weeks.
So I take him back to my apartment, and the first thing the most important thing is just that this cat was a super horny cat. It would just hump everything I had.
Oh man, you're like, I wish you had that female.
Yeah,
we'd be in business.
All my pillows, I was constantly doing laundry. Everything was sticky.
So it would actually.
Everything was covered in
your
cat
pillows
cum. Yeah,
and actually cum. I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So everything I had is covered in cat cum, and I'm going nuts. And we go back. I'm like, all right, it's only 2 weeks. We get back to the pet shop. I'm like, all right, where's the female? The guy says, listen, the breeder that we get these from is in Hungary, and she just found out she has breast cancer.
Uh-huh.
So we're not pressuring her right now about the cats. We're going to let her deal with the breast cancer for a while, and I'm sure once she starts getting her life back up and running, we'll get the females. But in the meantime, you guys should probably look around other places. So, okay, fine. So we start looking around for another, because it didn't have to just be a Cornish Rex, but we wanted to make sure it was the same color Cornish Rex, a female, you know, so that we had a pure breed looking cat, you know. We didn't want any mutts.
But if you didn't even want, so you wanted to do color matching.
We wanted to do color matching.
So it's like when you go into Home Depot with these blue walls and there's a little chip in it.
Right.
Gotcha.
So,
wow, you guys, I think that might have been, I would have gone for a nice blend, but go ahead.
But even I don't even believe we found one that was off color, that was a female Cornish Rex, that we couldn't find any in the whole tri-state area, and I don't think we went as far as to look outside of the tri-state area, because we were crazy and in our 20s and not thinking like great businessmen. But the weeks are going by, no female Cornish Rex. I can't stand the cat cum.
There's an album title.
Please welcome from their latest hit album, Can't Stand the Cat Cum. What would the band be?
No, it's just, you can do a comedy album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to start taking up an instrument.
Oh,
just to use that title I gave you.
I immediately went for music.
So you couldn't go for the cat cum.
So I keep saying, Dave, it's not fair. You know, this business, it has to be like a 50-50. You have to take the cat a little bit, too. You can't just leave it.
Oh, it was totally at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's refusing to take any responsibility. No, Dan, the cat has to stay with you. I go, that's not fair. You know, if we're business partners, we're business partners. We're not, you can't, you know, I'm the one who's doing all the suffering here. And then what, you're going to reap the benefits when we're making millions off these cats, you know? I didn't think we'd make millions, but... Anyway, a lot of this fighting goes on for quite some time. And finally, I put an ultimatum on the table. I said, if you don't take the cat, I'm getting him neutered. He's like, that would kill the whole business, Dan. I said, I know, I'm aware of that. I'm ready to do it. I will kill the whole business because it's not fair. This became like a big point of contention between us, and like I had to make a stand. Like, I'm not getting walked all over here by him and the cat. So the amount of time passes that I think I said 2 weeks, and if you don't pick up this cat, I'm getting him neutered. 2 weeks is done, and I'm like, man, I don't want to get him neutered. I don't want to lose the money. So I extended. I gave him like an extension. And I think like 2 extensions later, I'd finally been fed up, and I was like, that's it. And I brought the cat in, and I got him neutered. And that was the end of the business plan. But the cat was always mad at me for getting him neutered. He was a terrible, he hated me, the cat. He always would pee on my fresh laundry, and he would never shit in the litter box. He'd go and scratch at the bathroom door till I'd let him in. He'd shit in the bathtub. It was like a disgusting, unhygienic, hypoallergenic cat.
It's like, I'm not allergic to him, but he's peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
And shitting.
I think he hated me. I think he knew that he was just part of a failed business. And I started really getting attached to him, but he wouldn't reciprocate at all. I like animals a lot, and I was like, you know what, it's cool. I got,
I can imagine one of the pure breeds, they're not the warmest ones, are they?
No.
It's the little sad mutts that are the nice ones.
Yeah, he had an attitude.
Did you try to get your money back on him?
No, because it wouldn't be, on what grounds? It would.
I guess, you didn't tell the guy I'm starting a business. Well, I guess he knew because you kept asking for a female.
Yeah, but I don't think they would say, hey, look,
How were you going to market these cats? Were you going to,
I had a whole plan.
let's hear it.
Yeah, I was going to put up flyers on the bulletin boards in all the big apartment buildings on the Upper East Side. And I'd already spoken to a bunch of doormen.
Really?
Yeah, because when you go to these lobbies, it's always like, I got a couch for sale. I think I saw like an ad for French bulldog puppies, and I was like,
oh man,
what would sell better than that? Hairless cats.
Hairless pissing cats.
And I was like, if you can get $2,000 a cat at the pet shop, we could charge even $1,500 and undercut the pet shop, and it's all pure profit.
It's a kitten.
Yeah. We're just making $1,500 a kitten. This is a great way to avoid a real job,
But how many kittens can a cat have?
I think you can get about 8 kittens in a litter. I might be mistaken, but I think that's like a regular thing. And that's, and then I figured once we really get it going.
So that's $12,000 right there.
Yeah. And then, you keep one, and, you keep another, and you try and you go buy another one, and so you're not inbreeding. And I was thinking, within a year from now, we could really be doing very well, and we wouldn't need day jobs, and we could just sort of be cat breeders.
I couldn't do that because just when you said going up to doormen and starting, that would have been like, I'm not going to go up to this guy. I go, hi, I know you're watching this $18 billion building, but I want to put this flyer up for this cat business I have. But you have no.
I had no qualms with that.
Yeah.
I also was thinking, if I could get these doormen to push the cats, I'd give them a commission. Like I was thinking that could be
you got to do. You have to give them a kickback.
Yeah, give them a kickback. Like how hard would it be to they know everybody in the building, they know who's sad and maybe could use a pet. They go, hey, I know a guy who's got like top-notch hairless cats. You've been saying it now.
Ms. Johnson, I don't know if you're interested, but I met a guy today. Hairless cats. All right, I'll just help you with your groceries. I'll just get the door for you. I thought you might want a hairless cat as well. Wow, that's a great.
It doesn't even end there.
Oh, good.
This is an epic tale. So, the cats. I moved to Brooklyn. I have the cat now for about 2 years, and we never really hit it off. I now moved to Brooklyn, maybe more than 2 years. It was probably more than 2 years. It was maybe even 4 years that I had the cat. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was about 4 years.
So he was your pet at this point.
He was my pet.
He was not your money maker.
Right, yeah. And it always pissed Dave off. He'd come over and be like, "That's half my cat." I'm like, "Well, take him." And no, I don't want him. Anyway, I moved to Brooklyn, and the apartment that I move into. Do you know Maddie Goldberg?
Yeah.
So I move in with Maddie Goldberg, and the apartment has got like a roach infestation. So we get an exterminator, which is another funny story in itself, but we get an exterminator, a team of guys to come in, and they said basically any pets that you have in the place, get them out for about a week because of the poison, and it could hurt them. And I'm like, well, he's a very sensitive cat. He doesn't even have hair. I better, not take any chances. So I asked my friend Genevieve. You might know her too. I said, would you watch the cat? And she says, sure, and bring it up to her apartment. She's living in Midtown. And during this week, I get offered a month of shows in the UK, like 3 weeks from when they call me. And I accept. So I told, Genevieve was there with the cat. She's like, oh, I love this cat. We're getting along so well. And I'm like, you are? She goes, yeah. I said, well, if you want to watch him a little longer, I'm going to go to the UK, because otherwise I got to find someone to watch him again anyway. And she's like, sure, I'll watch him through that. Well, she gets very attached to him during the time that I'm gone. And I keep trying to get the cat back. And she's like unresponsive, or she'll be like, meet me at my apartment at 2 o'clock, and I'd get there and she wouldn't be there, and she kept ducking me, to keep the cat.
You have really terrible friends, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or a cute cat.
Yeah. She really hit it off with this cat, and then I get another booking out of the country. So I'm like, shit, what do I do? I gotta get the cat back in between, and then. So I said, look, you're obviously trying to hold on to this cat anyway. Just watch him for another month. So she says, yeah, I'll watch him for another month. Okay, fine. I go back out there, and I come back, and now she's like, not even taking my calls. She wants this cat. And, the truth is, if I had the emotional maturity at the time, I would have known, let her keep the cat. Obviously she's getting on with this cat. Me and the cat never clicked.
Right, you didn't really get him to be a pet.
Yeah.
Although you fell in love with him a little bit.
Yeah, I like the companionship.
Yeah.
But I was so stubborn too. Like, I'd put $1,000 down on this cat, and I raised him for all that time. I'm getting my cat back. Also, it's just like a matter of not wanting to be walked all over,
Yeah, you don't want to say, hey, will you watch my cat? Oh, I didn't mean you get to keep my cat.
Right.
I wasn't giving you my cat.
So I see her at a comedy club, and it really it goes, it what's the word? Boils over or whatever. Not boils over.
Now I'm going to be obsessed over it. Of course, I know this word. It implodes. No, that's not the right word. It was bad. You had an argument.
It got into a big argument. And she's like, "You're not getting the cat back. That cat loves me. You've left it with me for over 2 months now. That's an irresponsible pet owner. You shouldn't even have a pet. You're touring in Europe a lot now. There's no reason for you to have a cat. It's unfair to the cat. It needs a stable home." So I'm like, this girl's crazy. She's not going to give me the cat back. Because for a long time it was unspoken, but now it was actually spoken. She said, I'm not giving you back your cat. The cat never liked you, she said. He loves me. So here's another pointer about Genevieve. She's a sex addict, and she goes home with different guys almost every night. Maybe we shouldn't be using her real first name. Well, she's open about it. She's been on podcasts and talked about it. Okay. So I don't have a problem talking about it. But especially then, she was. So I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to have to be crafty if I get this cat back, because I'm not losing this thing, So we used to go to this bar called The Parlor on 86th and Broadway. And they'd have a karaoke night on a Sunday night. And she'd always go home with a guy around 1 a.m. from The Parlor. It was a big hookup scene, and I hooked up with a bunch of chicks at The Parlor. It was like a... but she lived across the street from The Parlor, so she'd always take a guy home around 1 a.m. So I think to myself, if I can make her think I'm okay with her stealing my cat, then I could plant somebody there at The Parlor who could get up into her apartment and steal my cat back from me. So that's what I did. First, I was pitching people who I knew were her type. They have to be like hairy Italian guys. That's what she always goes for. So I start going up to guys. I went to this one guy in a pizza shop in Brooklyn, and I'm like, hey, I go, you single? And he was obviously very homophobic, and I thought I was hitting on him. And he copped like a real attitude with me. I go, no, it's not.
Where did you meet this guy?
At Carmine's Pizza in Brooklyn.
Okay.
But I knew he was like exactly the guy that she would take home.
This is unbelievable you would do this, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was really dedicated. I'm like, I'm gonna get this cat back. What am I gonna do? I could either break in or I could plant somebody.
There is small claims court. Judge Judy.
I guess
she would not be having this. Judge Judy would have gotten the truth out of her, and she'd be, you have to get the cat back.
I guess I went for the way that I thought would be more fun.
But if you want to go up to a strange guy in a pizza place and go, are you single?
Yeah.
That's another way to handle it.
Right.
So yours is the funnier way to do it. So you go up to him.
I said, are you single? He gets all like homophobic. I don't remember what he said, but I go, no, it's not me.
Yeah.
I have a friend. She's pretty. She'd go for you. I think you definitely score if you're looking to score. If you know. And the guy goes, all right, well, give me your number or something. I go, well, it's not as simple as that. I said, I need something in return. I can get you laid 100%. I know what you'd say to her and everything, but I need you to go up to her apartment, and afterwards, when she falls asleep, you got to bring me the cat. You're like, get the fuck away from me. Like I became this weird cat pimp, like.
Yeah. It is a little weird to be honest.
It was weird, yeah.
It would be weird to have someone come up to me.
But I got somebody.
Was it him?
No, somebody else. I got somebody else that I met at a comedy club afterwards, and I'm like, you want to do this? The guy goes, yeah. So we head up from the comedy club to the parlor that night, and I tell him exactly what to say. I'm like, that's the girl. Buy her this drink around 1 a.m. and have complete confidence that you're going to get laid, and you will get laid. And the guy goes, all right. And I said, I'll be waiting in the lobby. A few hours later, we'll text back and forth. Just bring me down the cat. Dave is there with the getaway car because he's like invested too. He's like, this is our cat, Dan. We can't let this happen. All of a sudden, he's back in on the cat. But he also really hated Genevieve, so I was able with...
Dave did.
Dave hated Genevieve. So in order to motivate Dave to be the getaway driver, I was able to say, look, this Genevieve, she can't be stealing people's cats. We got to stick up for this.
You had him channel his hatred into being the getaway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to find motivation.
Uh-huh.
So I'm texting the guy. He goes up with her. I'm texting him. I'm in the lobby. Where's the cat? And no response. And I'm waiting for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Dave's like, the guy's not coming. He's not even texting you back. We got to go. And after a lot of resistance, I gave up and we left. And the next day, I'm calling the guy and he goes, hey, listen, man, I don't want to be part of your weird cat stealing scheme. I don't even know if it's really your cat. She's a really nice girl. I think I'm going to see her again. Oh, man. I go, you're not supposed to fall for her. She doesn't have a heart. She's just...
And he's going to tip the next guy that you send up there. He's going to tell her about the plan, man.
Yeah.
Did he tell her about the plan?
He did tell her about the plan. He's like, yeah, this weird guy is trying to get me to... He didn't say that I got him laid. He just said, oh, there was a weird guy at the bar who was trying to get me to steal your cat. So she calls me up and she goes, oh, so you tried to plant that guy. So she never even saw him again. She didn't even care about him.
Because he didn't like her for him. He didn't like her for her. He liked her because...
He fell in love with her in one night.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Okay. He was like, no, I think I have a future with this girl.
Sure, you didn't offer him money or anything. You just offered him...
I just said, look, I'll get you laid. Bring me back my cat. So the guy's telling me, like, no, I think we really have something. I go, you don't have anything. She's a sex addict. She doesn't care about you. What do you have? You have nothing.
Yeah.
I said, I told you the whole thing I've been right about everything so far. I got you laid. Why don't you believe me? He goes, look, man, I don't want any part of this. I rethought it over. I'm not going to be part of any kind of cat theft. He's like, just work it out with her, figure it out, man. There's other ways of dealing with this. He's like, I said, forget it. And I get so upset, and I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to Dave about it. I go, you know what? That's when it hit me. I said, I just got to let go. I don't even really want the cat back. That's when it really hit me, and I was like, I'm kind of happier living without the cat. I was like, I guess I should just let her keep the cat. But I didn't talk to her for months, and then...
There's something about someone that she did steal your cat.
She's a cat thief.
She stole your cat.
Yeah. And then she posted pictures of the cat dressed in a Santa suit for a Christmas party. and put them up on Facebook.
And you wanted to raise the cat Jewish, and that's really upsetting.
It was very upsetting. But they were sitting next to each other in matching Santa suits. And it's still up on her Facebook page, this picture of her and the cat dressed as Santa.
Let me pretend I won't be finding that later.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let her keep the cat. These two have a thing. You know, I called her up. I said, look, this is not a scam. I'm not trying to get the cat back anymore. You can have the cat. Just, you know, be a good pet owner, etc. And then she goes, all right, well, I trust you. You could come up to the Christmas party. And I went up there and saw the cat, and he did seem much happier.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. And he looked at me like, you know, fuck you, man. I was like, all right.
You think that's what he was thinking?
Yeah, he gave me a look, and then he went right to her and sat down.
That plan is amazing. See, I would think, like, if you're creative enough to come up with that plan to find the guy, you could have gotten that cat back.
I think
you had it in you to get that cat back.
I think looking back at it,
you got a guy laid,
right?
Just going, I know someone who will have sex with you.
I think I was more interested in coming up with a crazy plan than actually getting the cat back.
So it wasn't motivated by your love for the cat.
At the time, I thought it was, but with perspective, I was able to understand that I didn't really want the cat back. I think I just wanted some kind of justice. You know, I wanted to show that you can't just pull something over on me. I could pull something over on you, too.
What if she ends up finding a female one and then starts that business?
Well, it's already been neutered.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And so she had the cat for a few years, and the cat, one day she called me up and she was crying, and she said the cat had a blockage in its heart and its legs gave out, and the surgery was $5,000, and the vet said that it probably wouldn't survive the surgery anyway, and do we want to take the risk? She called me up, she's like, do we want to take this risk? Now I'm back into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now as soon as there's like a $5,000...
Now it's our cat, right?
It's our cat.
Yeah, you should.
I said, well, and then I was like, I was so sad for the cat, but I'm like, I can't. That's not a good risk, and I'm not paying $2,500 for her to possibly keep. And then I was thinking, I don't think it's going to survive that surgery. If they said it's probably not going to survive the surgery, but I was going back and forth for a while, and I was like, maybe I'd lend her the money, and then she could pay me it back, because we're on good terms at this point. It's years later.
Did you have any emails where it was like, can you watch my cat?
Probably not.
Those would have been your contracts.
Yeah. No, I don't think there was any email.
Is the cat still alive now?
No, so we opted to put the cat down after a day of debating whether or not it was very sad. And
sad.
We got together, we cried. Yeah, we really did. The cat was
I would cry too. Now you're making all my listeners cry, because that was a funny story up till that point.
Yeah,
where it got sad.
That's how it ended. Anyway, it ended sad. But yeah, you know, she and I still joke around about that guy who I sent up to her apartment. She's like, "Oh, that guy was such a loser." She remembers him completely. So.
Wow. Now I don't even want to talk about comedy after. That was a fantastic story.
Well, thank you.
No, that was good. I think it was like 25 minutes.
Really? Was it that long?
I don't know. It was long. But it was good. I'm always looking for stuff like that, because I'm not good at talking. All right, let's talk a little about comedy. God, it's not going to be able to follow that, though. You live in L.A. now?
I live in L.A.
I know. Everyone's shutting their iPods off.